Cathy Board.
I still need this as a backup because I've done it as well. Good evening, Toastmasters, members, and honored esteemed guest John. Thank you for coming tonight. With a show of hands, how many of you own a lawnmower? Great. Now, how many of you have had a fight with your mower? Or your mower just doesn't work that day? Ah, see? Well, today I'm going to share with you about my fight with my mower and a few lessons that I learned from my lawn mowing experience. Well, one of my first lessons I learned was to be aware when your husband decides to fertilize the lawn before he leaves on a military deployment to Afghanistan. He didn't just fertilize the lawn, he overstuffed it with food. The lawn was on steroids. And guess what you get when it rains for 7 straight days in a row with a lawn on steroids? Grass this high. It was so tall. I was waiting to hear the gorillas beating their chests at my doorstep. So before the monkeys and the gorillas decided to come make my lawn their new home, I decided it was time to mow the grass. So I would go to the garage, get my mower out, and check its vitals, check the oil, check the gasoline. Everything looks fine. I, start the mower, and it's nice, solid, good mower sound. So I go, okay, great. So I start to mow, and I mow slowly because I know it's tall, wet grass. I don't want to harm the mower. So I begin to mow, and only after a few minutes later, it starts making this grinding noise. And it's like, rawr, 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 rawr. And I'm like, all right, this can't be good. So I stopped the mower, and I tipped the mower over and to look underneath, and I was devastated of what I found. This thick, wet grass, and it's gooey and disgusting, and it's covered the whole belly of the mower and on the blades. And I was just overwhelmed because I'm like, oh no, I'm going to have to clean this. And I'm going to have to get dirty. So I go and get my plastic gloves, and I clean out the belly of the mower and get all that grass, and I have this clump of grass now. And I'm like, well, what do I do with this? So for the moment, I just like, plop, and just kind of landed it on the yard. I'm like, I'll deal with that later. So put the mower back up, continue to mow. Guess what happens only after a few more minutes later? Rawr, 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 rawr. And I'm like, this is not good. So I stop the mower, tip it over, look underneath again, and get my gloves out, clean it out. This time I'm like, okay, I'm getting frustrated. What can I do with this ball of grass? I'm like, I just want to throw it at my neighbor's house or throw it at my mailbox. Like, I'm needing to vent out my steam here because I'm getting mad. But instead, I just like, plop. So I have a lot of these plops throughout my whole yard. So that was my routine for about 3 to 4 hours. So it's mow, stop, tilt, clean, plop. Mow, stop, tilt, clean, plop. So that was my process. So yes, by this time I'm getting a little agitated. Now there's another lesson that I learned, and that's to know your mower. It's like a relationship. You have to know what it likes and what it doesn't like. Kind of like a marriage. It's for better or for worse. And in this situation, it's going towards the worst. We're in a fight. Well, it's really more like an argument. We're not in the full-blown fight yet, but it's definitely heading that direction. So I'm continuing to mow, and all of a sudden, I can't mow, I can't push anymore. The handlebar broke. And I'm like, what now? Well, the knob that holds the side of the handlebars just came off. I'm like, oh. And I'm like, ugh. I'm like, I just want to, kick the mower. Like, shoving grass on it. I'm like, so frustrated with you. So I knew I had to get help. So I had to go to the neighbor's yard, or neighbor's house. Knock on the door, I had him help me. and he had to find a screw to put the knob back on. Well, the screw, of course, didn't fit, so he jammed it in there. And then just to make sure it didn't get loose again, he put duct tape over it, just to cover it up. And I had so much duct tape on this mower, I had a lame mower, and it looked like it had its broken arm, it looks like it had a big old cast on it. And I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, I know my neighbors, my other neighbors, are just sitting back and laughing to death because they're like, I can't believe Cathy is doing this right now. This whole fiasco of my lawn mowing experience. Well, just when I thought my fight with my mower was over, it wanted to get the last word in. And guess what the mower did? I'm mowing, and all of a sudden again, I can't I can't push anymore. I can't mow. It won't go anywhere. And the actual arms that holds to the base, connects to the base of the mower, it popped off. So it popped off, and I'm like, but yet the mower is still running. So I had enough patience to be able to put the arms back in together and continuing to mow. Finally got the lawn mowed. Now remember, I had all these plops everywhere, these piles of grass. I had to go still clean that up. I mean, my lawn looked like a cow pasture. All these clumps of grass everywhere. So I had to go back and clean that up. Finally got all that cleaned up. So my lawn looked great. So I learned a few things from my lawn mowing experience. But the one most important thing I learned was I don't ever want to do this again. And you know what? I didn't. Or I haven't. Because I hired a service to do it instead. And I haven't had a fight with my mower since. Thank you very much.